Hi fashion lovers, welcome back to my channel, and today it is this 6 pieces gown or god skirt, god gown that will be cutting drafting in this video. All right, if it is what you're interested in, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, okay, give this video a thumbs up. All right, now this is my calculation. You already know how we do it. We start with the calculation. All right, now what is different in this calculation is just that on the waist I went for +4, okay, and for my nipple to nipple I added ½ inches. Every other calculation is already as it used to be. And for the 4 you already know why we divide into 4 anyway, because we fold into 4, right? Now there is something I need to emphasize on for this measurements. This style, this particular dress has a stretchy fabric. Like the fabric used in making it is a stretchy fabric. So when you're cutting, you should put that into consideration. All right. Now for your addition to the for your sewing allowance, the 3/4 I used. If your fabric is very stretchy, like extremely stretchy, you can reduce your sewing allowance. But if it is not stretchy, work with the accurate allowance. All right, so let's get to the folding. But before we do that, now we need to know what to measure. This is what we need. The hip measurement is what we are using to cut, +6. Now +6, it can either be between 6 to 10. So when you add these two together, we have about 12.5 plus, all right, whichever. I decide to go for 6, but let me go for 6. Now I have between 6 to 10 to choose from, so whichever one you choose to choose from is your choice. So in total I have 18.5. That is what I will be folding my pattern paper or my fabric into 4. So when you fold your fabric into 4, you fold using 18.5. So this is my pattern paper. I have folded it. I folded the 2 into 2 first because I'm getting the front pattern first. Okay. So I folded into 2 to get the front pattern. Now let's measure. This fabric is giving me, sorry, this pattern brown paper is giving me, let me zoom it in, you can see 19.5. okay, that is what I folded my pattern paper to, meaning you can fold up to 20, you can fold up to 22, but the minimum you can go is 18.5. So once you have done that, you measure your shoulder and you start taking out your other measurement. Now for my armhole depth, I marked 7.5, not 8. This dress has a cup sleeve, okay, so I went for 7.5, okay, for my armhole. My bust point 10, my half length is 16, my hip line 25, and the next is my gown length. Okay, now after getting this, I've marked the lines properly. Okay, once I've done that, I'll equally come to the first line and mark my shoulder. Okay, that is actually my B, which is my bust. Okay, just then I'll use my rule and connect. Okay, now what next? We need to start marking out the basic measurement. First, this is my shoulder, my B. This is my BP, which is my bust point. Okay, this is my underbust, this is my waist, and this is my hip. The last line is my gown length, okay, which is 36 plus 1.5, we have 37.5. okay, good. So we have gotten to this extent. The next thing we need to do is this. We need to mark our bust measurements. Remember, it is 9 plus 3, which is 12. On the waist, we have 7 plus 4, we have 11. Okay. And for the hip, we have, now this measurement at the hip is just to cross-check. Okay. Once you have indicated your hip, the next thing you need to mark is go to the gown length. This part I'm pointing at, all right? mark your 18.5. Remember the fabric, my folding is 19.5. I'll just mark 18.5. That is what I marked here. You're seeing it, right? Good. Now, once you have marked that, you get your rule and connect. Okay? You get your rule and connect. You can see how I'm connecting. Now, I did not connect it to the hip. I connected it from the waist to the gown length. You watch what I did? Now, me marking the hip is just, to check. That shows my hip fits in. Okay? Good. Now, having gotten this, the next thing is for us to curve our armhole before we continue. Now, looking at this dress, you can see the line at the front. This shows that is a shoulder, and this neck is a square neck. You can see the neck is square. So we have to put all the detailing into consideration in determining what we have to work with. Now, we have established it has a square neck. First, I don't like this sharpness. I need to take it off. We have established it has a square neck. Okay. Then secondly, the darts or the bustier on the front is from the shoulder all through. Looking at it very well, but let me zoom it for you. But before that, what I'm marking right now is my nipple to nipple plus half. Nipple to nipple divided by 2 plus half. That is what I'm marking. While we are marking, let me zoom the line for you to see. So this is the line. You can see how it is. Okay. You can see it's a square neck. All right. So I'm marking my nipple to nipple first. That is what I'm marking. All right. You get your nipple to nipple. You connect it straight down. Connect it straight down from the shoulder. You can see I connected from the shoulder to the hip, from the hip to the gown length. Okay, now this particular line is my nipple to nipple. Remember, and I'm using 4.5. Okay, now after getting this line, the next thing is my dart intake, which is at the underbust. Now, for my underbust, I'm using 3/4. At the underbust, I'm using 3/4. Why am I using 3/4? The distance between my underbust and my bust is closer. Secondly, the bustier we are going for is not that much of a, how do I put it? It's not that noticed, like it's not that curved. Let me use the word curved. Okay. So at the shoulder part, I went for 1 inches. At the underbust, I went for 3/4 inches. Okay. Now your dart intake can be 1 at the front if you choose. Where I took 3/4, you can decide to take 1 inches. It is your choice, but I'm going for 3/4. All right. Now at the shoulder, I went for 1 inches. Okay. So this is it. You can see I've connected it. You already know the bust point is the connectivity point. Now, the next thing is to connect it to the hip. Watch what I'm doing. Watch, I connected it here. This is where I connected it back to, all right, which is my hip, not to the gown length. Okay, so having gotten this is our front pattern. Please, there's something I need to emphasize on. For the neck, it is only done when you're done sewing to avoid mistake, especially for beginners. Whatever you do, your cutting of the neckline should be done after you're done with the darts. There's no bustier. This particular dress is not padded. Secondly, I said earlier, the fabric is stretchy a little bit. The fabric used in making this dress is more like a lycra. Okay, so put that into consideration. when you're cutting. Now there is no pad, no cup. All right, so this is my front pattern, and remember the neck is better achieved when you're done with the sewing of the dart or the bustier. Now my front pattern is ready. You guys know how I like to go for my back pattern. I like using my front pattern to get my back pattern. I don't want to go and start, starting from the beginning, mark this, mark that, it's how do I put it? It increases my it's just, I see it as time wasting. Now let's move. This is the back that I'm trying to cut. Now the back of this dress has zip at the back. Let me show you. So this is the back. You can see it is invisible zip at the back. All right. So the first thing when you have a zip is to put your zip allowance. And for this zip allowance, I went for 1 inches. You can see I'm just tracing it out. The only difference is just the zip allowance. All right. Now you ask me the front and the back, are they the same? In measurement, they are the same, but in allowance, the front dart is different from the back dart. What you take from the front is different from what you take from the back. So having measured it this way, all I need to do is just take out 1 inches from the side of the back. That way they will both be the same. What am I trying to say? Remember, I did plus 4 at the waist, plus 3, plus 3. Why did I do all this? Because the dart intake at the front is bigger. That is why. So, having gotten my front, okay. Now, having gotten my front, what I need to do is just cut the front first before, working on the back. All right, let me cut the front dart before working on the back dart. You can see how I'm cutting it. Okay. So guys, please, if you have not, given this video a thumbs up, please like the video. And if you have not subscribed, subscribe. I post videos of how to cut different styles on this channel. Different styles every day. New styles, trending styles, okay? Every day. So be a subscriber. Whenever I post new video, you'll be among the first to know, okay? So this is my front. I've gotten my front pattern. All right, so this is my back. Remember I told you earlier that the allowances for the front and back, they are not the same. So, but the first thing, I need to know where my waist is. This is my waist for the dart at the back. When I showed you the back earlier, you can see there is a dart at the back. All right, so I need to indicate my waist, my bust point, and my hip line, just the same line because of the dart. Now, so having marked that, remember the same nipple to nipple. I'll be marking the same nipple to nipple too. Okay, to make it more, you see that is the nipple to nipple. Now the next thing is you use your rule and connect. Okay, you can see how I'm connecting it. Now, having connected it straight from the shoulder to the gown length, this is my BP, my waist. Okay, you already know. Now, the back dart intake is 1/2 inches. It is 1/2 inches. There is no bust at the back that we are projecting. Rather, it is just the waist that we are trying to, snatch better. Okay, so there is no dart intake of any kind. So you connect to the bust point up. All right, you connect it down, just tiny difference. No much to be done. We are trying to reduce the shoulder, at the same time snatch the waist. Okay, so no much that intake. All right, so remember I told you I'll be taking out 1 inches from the side to reduce my sewing allowance. All right, not to make the back to be bigger. So I'm marking from the bust, hip, and the gown length. I'll be taking 1 inches off. Okay, so what I'll do now is use my rule and connect it, so I'll be able to cut it off. This 1 inch will definitely be cut off. I explained to you that the allowances needed at the back is smaller to when compared to the front. We need more allowance at the front than the back. And remember, I use the front pattern to trace the back. So in order not to in order not for the back to be excess, to be too much, I need to take out that 1 inches. Okay, so then I'll now cut. The dart intake I use at the back is half inches. Remember I said it is the waist that we need more intake on. No much difference is needed at the back. Now, having done this cutting, remember I told you earlier, what of the neck? The neckline of this dress, this gown, is best achieved when you're done sewing the darts, stitching it up. That is when you cut the neck. It is best achieved that way. All right, now I have used tape to hold my back together. Right, you can see it. I held it together. Now the waist is snatched already. Okay, now what next? Our neck for the back. Okay, this is my zip allowance. Now, what neck width do you think you should use? Now, it is your choice what you choose to use. But for this video, I used 3.5. You can use 4. You can use 5. It is your choice what you decide to use. Now, for the depth or for the back is 2 inches. This is the back we're treating. Remember when I showed the earlier video, the earlier picture, the back is high back. So it is 3.5 by width and depth 2 inches. Then you curve it. Okay, you curve. Before you do that, you cut the shoulder slant. You slant your shoulder. You already know how we do that. You take your rule and connect and slant your shoulder. This is it. All right. Once you've slanted your shoulder, you curve. This is it. Okay. Then if you decide to curve your armhole, it is by choice. But there is no need curving the armhole. All right. Because this part has been sewn off. So the back is ready. Nothing much to be done. So let me not forget to open the zip, the back. You know it's folded into 2. So I need to open the zip part. Now, once the zip part is open, the next thing is for us to work. So this is my front. You can see it's giving me that curviness already. Okay, it is giving the bustier curve for the bust already. Now, on the neck, let's zoom this. Our concentration in this particular part is the neck. We have done every other part, is the neck that is left. Now, remember, I used 3.5 in the back. Therefore, it is 3.5 in the front. Okay. 3.5 in the front. Now for the depth, it is your choice, but for me, I'm going for 7 inches. Now for the finishing of this dress, you can see the neck was finished with bias, or what we call piping. Okay, they use bias or piping to finish the neck. Piping and bias, they are the same thing. Okay, that is what they use to finish the neck. And because of that, I decided to do this. You see this little curving I'm doing here. Why am I doing it? It's because of the piping, the bias, so it will be able to relax. It is very important. Remember, neck width 3.5, neck depth 7 inches. The neck depth of your dress changes, but the neck width between the front and back remains the same. Now, my 1 inch shoulder slant, do not forget that. Now, this is our dress. Okay, next thing is for us to cut. Now our front is ready. So guys, if you have any question concerning this particular dress, drop it on the comment section. I will be answering ASAP. All right, so this is my neck. The next thing is the shoulder slant is done. This is it. Now what is left? The hand of the sleeve, the sleeve itself. That is a cup sleeve. Some say it's a cup sleeve, some say cap sleeve, whichever one, that is what is next. Now this is one of the sleeves. It is very easy to cut, so I'll just give you a short explanation of how to cut it. Now this is my paper that I've folded for the cutting of the sleeve. There are things you should consider. You have to fold it into 4. This is folded into 4. Your width is either between 4.5, either between 4 to 5. The length 4 to 5, meaning the width can be 4, the length can be 4. What you choose depend on the size of the person you're making it for. Then you curve it this way. Very easy. It's one of the easiest way of cutting sleeve, and your cup sleeve is ready. It is as simple as easy. Your cap sleeve, whichever one, this is it. All right, now this is the sleeve. It is ready. You've been attaching it, and this is how it will come. So guys, remember, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you for always watching.